This video I wanted to talk about, the title of it is Demons Live Amongst Us. And of course you can convert that word demons to whatever religion or faith you come from. But basically what I'm saying is there's been a false teaching from the beginning of time that goes something like this. Catholic priests go around and they exorcise demons out of someone, and in the scriptures it talks about how Jesus cast demons out of a particular person. And whether or not that's true to whatever extent, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is that there are demons that are born into life just like you and I. And people are not aware of that because obviously who would want to reveal that if that were, for instance, in different countries in wartime and everything, your spies are hidden from view. You don't want to reveal who your spies are. That's a common understanding. And so the God of this world, being Lucifer or Satan, has his so-called spies, let's say. Well, he's not going to want to reveal who they are to the other people. And so consequently, they're not known. But they have to pass through the same exact process of being born into life that you and I do. Meaning, I don't remember my life over the past billion years or more, and neither do you. Consequently, demons don't remember their past any more than you or I do. But if you put them up and compare them, well, if you take the wide spectrum and say everyone from a very righteous person to someone that isn't, that is a demon, it's pretty damn simple to see the difference. One person over here is a murdering rapist, lying cheater, thief, blah, blah, blah. And this person is loving, caring, righteous, helpful, etc., etc. It's super easy to tell the difference between these two people. Well, one of them is a demon, the other is not. Now, it is said, and I don't know if I agree nor do I disagree with this concept, but there's a heck of a lot of substance or information to back it that it is true. And that is, if you break down the percentages and you want to be super precise, there's indication that leads you to believe that 66.6% of all humans born into existence are demons, and 33.3% born into existence are not demons. That being the case, we follow, so to say. So consequently, anyone that followed Jesus as their prime example would be part of the 33.3%. And those that follow, and when I say Jesus in Hindu theology, let's call Jesus Vishnu. Those that follow Vishnu would be 33.3%. And those that did not are 66.6%. And so in that case, this world is overflowing with those that followed Satan. So consequently, we all grow up in this world and we have this false notion that we just can't understand why things are so screwed up. We have communist countries where the rulers are just ruthless, murdering savages. We have business owners and corporations that are just horrible beyond belief. And then we have righteous people that are trying to go to church and they see that their children are being molested by priests and et cetera, et cetera. And people just are pulling their hair out going, if God created this way, why would I want to believe in a God that created such a horrible, evil reality? But the fact is that this particular reality is 2/3 of it are those that followed Lucifer before their birth. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because as one of the 33.3% people, you might find yourself being extremely confused in life and thinking, what is going on? I don't understand why my government is so mean-spirited. I don't understand why the police are beating the hell out of people and so horrible and mean-spirited. I don't understand a lot of things like that are just confusing to the 33%. But that's because they don't realize that 2/3 of the population of the planet are evil by nature. And so when you understand that and that we're all living here together in the same reality, then it starts to make a heck of a lot more sense. So that's why I'm wanting to bring that up. That's why I want to put that out there. Also, the demons, and you know, you could have a family of 6 people. Well, you know, 4 of them are going to be demons, whether it's the parents and the children or whatever. I mean, that's just the breakdown of the way it is. So, again, the reason I'm bringing this up is because it can be extremely difficult for the soft-hearted, loving people trying to figure out what in the world is going on in this realm that they're born into. They can understand that there's going to be a small segment of people that have a proclivity towards evil and this sort of thing, but they can't understand why things get so out of hand. Well, it gets out of hand because of that. Now, why are those that follow Lucifer seemingly so bad? Well, they're only bad from the perspective of the 33.3%. There's a whole lot of people that follow Lucifer that don't see anything wrong with being, according to us, evil. And the reason being is, I've said this before and I'll say it again. No one has ever, in this particular kalpa of time, and this is typical of every kalpa of time, no one in existence in this kalpa of time has ever talked to directly one-on-one and has been instructed by God, by the Creator God, by Brahman, or Brahma, excuse me. No one has ever spoken to this particular deity one-on-one and been instructed. That only takes place after the kalpa of time is over, that we were born into existence. And if we become one with Brahma, then we will continue on past this kalpa of time with God. So I hope this is making sense. Like I said, I felt like it was something that I just felt like inspired that I should bring this up. One last thing about it. We always talk about how we follow God, or we follow Satan, or we follow Shiva, or we follow Lucifer, or this or that, or whatever. If you have a race, and here's the starting line, and they shoot the shot, and everybody starts running. Who's following who in that particular race? Nobody. Nobody's following anyone because there's nobody in front, because they all start at the exact same time. So if you're partway through the race, you can look backwards, but you can't look forwards. That's the way life is in this kalpa of time, as all kalpas of time. There's no such thing as looking forward. You're not if someone was in front of you, then you would be following them. So you're not following God. You're not following Jesus. You're not following Shiva. Nobody is following. The only thing they're following is their own personal self is guiding them along the way. They can look backwards. That's why we have history books, and we read about the history of Jesus, or we read about the history of Buddha, or this or that or whatever, and we can go, wow, I kind of like that particular personage. That seems like something that I would like to fashion my life after. But you're not following because that's in the past. Does that make sense? This is a very difficult concept for a lot of people to grasp. But there's no future. There's no such thing as looking into the future, because you can't do that. Only the Creator God can do that, because there's no such thing as time to God. God created time for us. A kalpa of time is exactly that. It's a time. Outside of the kalpa, there is no such thing as time. But we're inside the kalpa of time. Therefore, we can't follow. There's nothing in front. That's what faith is. Faith is deciding based upon the past where you want to go tomorrow, into the future. So, we are all on the exact same footing. We create ourselves by the choices we make. Depending on where we want to go and what we want to be, we are the ones that are making those choices. Evil people make a choice based upon what feels good to them. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Shiva, Lucifer, Satan, call them whatever you want. This particular God is no different from Vishnu, no different from they're all the exact same footing. Nobody has an advantage. There's no one to follow except themselves. And so consequently, we are the ones that create ourselves into being. We are the ones, and there's a certain thing called, in Christianity, judgment. Well, when all things are said and done, we are the judges of our own self. We can see what we accomplished based upon what was the personage of God. Anyways, I'm going to cut it short there. I just thought that I would throw that out. Nothing earth-shaking or anything. I just felt like that was something that needed to be said at this time. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.